So Neil, thank you for coming to CERAWeek. It's a pleasure having you here in Houston. It's a great event. Thank you for coming. We have a very long-lasting relationship as two companies serving the industry on the energy side. And how do you view our relationship when you look back where we're coming from and where we are today?
Well, thank you so much, Jörg, for the invite to CERAWeek. Really enjoying the event so far. Absolutely right, we've had a long-standing partnership dating back 5-6 years now between S&P Global Commodity Insights and Ion Corporates. How I would characterize the partnership is you bring the data, we bring the application and business workflow, and together we make those work for our mutual customers. And I think that's been hugely beneficial over the last few years, and I think we have a lot more to do together.
Yeah, absolutely, and I would like to echo that. And I find it amazing, from the path we're on over the years, and really trying to serve the client problem and helping our clients. And it's a great partnership on the solution side of the business, on the workflow side of the business, and us as bringing our strong content sets, to the venue. How do you view it from a client perspective? How is the infrastructure at the client changing over the period of time?
Yeah, I think the infrastructure has changed based on the business problem that our mutual clients are trying to solve. So they started off by thinking about, give me color around the market, and that was your data and your content side. The next step up was, well, we trade those markets and we have positions sitting in inventory and holdings. How do we value those? So now we started taking that market data, bringing our valuation logic and pricing those instruments. Obviously, those instruments are priced against benchmarks. The next stage, which is where I think we're at now, is how about pre-trade or pre-trade analytics, and how do we delve into that? And that's where we take the positions and holdings we have, the views that you have around benchmarks and what has been happening in the market, and where we look at sort of like what maybe is happening on the exchanges, which gives us that forward perception of the market, and how do we bring that all together for price formation.
So when you talk about the product, which sounds so great, it sounds very, very seamless from its integration. Could you help us here to run us a little bit of how this works from a data flow perspective into the client, and also then from that perspective of a today perspective, like what comes next?
Yeah, so look, I think our mutual clients have been connected up on our solutions for some time, and back in the old days it was data feeds in and upload and what have you. Obviously, we now live in the world of cloud, so you have cloud solutions, we have cloud solutions. Yeah. We bring those together now seamlessly through APIs that once connected, data just seamlessly flows, right? And the infrastructure has no longer been an obstacle to progress, but has actually been a core capability that we uniquely offer together to allow our customers to get greater business insights. I think you'd agree, right?
1,000% agree on that subject, obviously. And I must say, on the volatility of current markets, the volatility, is driving the business. So information flow becomes much more important from a timeliness perspective with the recent, situations we all face. How do you view that? From again, how is the demand from the client on the timing perspective?
It's interesting. I was just in Asia a couple of weeks ago when the current situation was in week 2, and we'd just been through the price disruption, and the supply disruption was just about to kick in. And those customers of ours that had that sort of like API access were able to get real-time event-driven content coming through directly into the ETRM solutions that we provide, and that market color around prices and volatilities and correlations, that was all there at a time when the market was clearly under deep distress, right? And you know, the third week I was there, we started to see, you know, demand disruption in Asia, and you know, that's another stage of the workflow that certainly that we partner on and bring value to our clients. So
which sounds exciting, helping the client in the right moments.
Yeah.
So in from that perspective, it looks like, you know, we're together in this partnership, we're doing the right things, right? But there's also then the perspective, and I would like to listen to you about, like, what comes next? What is the vision of ION on how to serve the markets towards the next, if you even wish, decade of the future? You know, where do you see the trends?
Yeah, so I think there are two or three immediate trends here, but the first is, you know, we believe in market evolution. So whether that is coming through digital transformation and codification and process and automation, markets transform. We've seen it in equities and fixed income, in FX, physical commodities is going to be a little bit different, but digitization, that automation will certainly come. I think of us together sort of like servicing a community, right? Right now, a lot of what we do is provide point solutions to those communities. I think we need to start thinking about how we bring those communities together so that they can start to interact seamlessly with each other. So whether that's a trading and sort of like showing indications of interest, but leveraging our data and capabilities, because I'm a firm believer that, you know, whether it's data or workflow solutions, you need those solutions on the 10 busiest, most volatile trading days of the year. That's when our clients make their money. It's also when, if they're not positioned right with the systems when they need them, they'll lose some money. Right?
These are phenomenal, great thoughts, and it looks like, you know, the roadmap is great for the community to push for. On a very final note for our audience, you know, what is a takeaway? What is the one thought you would put to the audience to wake up with, to work with, you know, going forward in the commodity community?
Look, I think at the end of the day, it's business insights and improved decision making on a near real-time basis, right? The world has become a far more complex place to operate. We were here on day one of the conference, and you know, there was a news broadcast from the president, move the markets, and there were people in the room reacting to that market movement. They were doing it because of news and content that you were providing. The resulting trades were coming from our solutions, right? And you know, that ability to real-time adjust, whether it's through hedging, that's what it's all about. And as long as we're both here together to providing solutions to our customers, I think that's a real way for us to empower the community together.
Absolutely. You know, I can't comment more on that subject. Just about thanking you for your time, thanking you for your partnership, and also going for the next endeavor together.
Yeah, no, and thank you for the partnership.